welcome to yet another edition of Ask Ron. I'll be doing these more frequently because I'm going to make them shorter. Turns out people don't watch 30-minute videos on YouTube all that often. So today I'm really just going to handle one question. A guy named Swing Slammer asked me on the mdmusculardevelopment.com No Bull forum, which I encourage you guys all to check out. What do you find most perplexing when you see it in the gym? Bad form? Oh, this is my thing. So he said perplexing, which would be something that's puzzling. I'll answer that, but I also would want to include what I find most vexing, which is why I'm titling this What Grinds My Gears in the Gym. So the number one thing that drives me crazy in the gym is people not putting their weights away. I actually was a member at a gym in my own town that's a 7-minute drive from my house. I was a member there. They had 2 locations, on and off, mostly on, for 17 years. And I finally got rid of my membership there because I could not stand the level to which it had become a problem where people were not putting their weights away. I would walk in there and every bench would have a bar on it with 1 or 2 plates. Squat racks, we'd have a couple of them. They'd always have 2 or 3 plates. Dumbbells all over the place. Every barbell that was set up somewhere would have plates left on it. Guys would just leave it. And a big part of the problem with that gym was that there's a huge percent of their daily profit is day passes to play basketball at the indoor basketball court, which gives everyone, if you pay your $10 to go use the gym for basketball, you have access to everything, which the weight room, the pool. So a lot of these guys that were there to play basketball would either fuck around with the weights before they went to have their court time or after. And they have no gym etiquette. They would just leave weights all over the place, and it made me insane. And I would ask them at times, "Are you done with that?" And they'd say, "Yeah." I'd say, "Take your weights off." And most times they'd just glare at me and walk away. But anyway, I left that gym. So, that bothers me because I put my weights away. I always have. That's the way I learned it when I started going to commercial gyms in the late 80s. That's just what we did. Nobody left their weights on. We put our weights away. It's common courtesy. You use something, you clean up after yourself. You load up a leg press, and I've seen this at that gym a million times. They would load up a leg press with 7, 8 plates aside for the little quarter reps and leave it all there. So then and that gym had a lot of older people training in the morning when I would go there, older retired men and women. 60, 70-year-old woman goes up there and she can't take off all those damn 45-pound plates. So if you do that, you're an asshole. That's the number one thing that bothers me in the gym. What puzzles me more than anything else, although it does vex me, is bodybuilders training like powerlifters. This was not so much of a problem until social media. The Ronnie Coleman DVDs certainly contributed because people would see Ronnie Coleman training, doing these stunt lifts, which he only did for his DVDs. He did not squat 800 pounds on a regular basis. He did not deadlift 800 pounds on a regular basis. He did those one time each, specifically for the video. A very cool feat of strength for us all to marvel at, which we did. It was crazy. But he didn't do that all the time. Watch his videos. Most of the time, he was doing reps in the 12 rep range. Everything was for 12 reps. He would do 200-pound dumbbell presses, 200 pounds in each hand, but 12 reps. So for him, that wasn't a super heavy weight. He wasn't maxing out. For him to max out, it probably would have taken 300-pound dumbbells or more for him to get just 1 or 2 reps. But I see all the time guys who consider themselves bodybuilders and they're training with the goal of building their bodies up bigger muscularly, and they're training like powerlifters. They're training in very low reps for strength gains, which is fine if that's your goal. If you're training for strength, if that's what you want to become as a stronger person, absolutely train with very low reps, very heavy weights. But I see guys who are bodybuilders or want to be bodybuilders doing that all the time. And I see it mostly on their Instagrams, their Instagram stories. I'm not on Snapchat, but I'm sure there's quite a bit of it on Snapchat. Their Facebook. They're doing these lifts purely to post them so people can go, wow, dude, you're so strong. Because in the old days, before social media, and before YouTube and all this stuff, if you were doing these stunt lifts and showing off, you were only really going to do it for the people at the gym, the very limited audience. But now, geez, you could show off for the entire world. Everyone who's on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and Snapchat. So everybody can see that you can deadlift 600 pounds, 500, 600 pounds or whatever. And like I said, nothing wrong with that. But What does it do for a bodybuilder? It just puts you at risk for injury. And I see the shittiest form on a lot of these people. They're squatting and their lower backs are rounding. They're deadlifting with rounded lower backs. They're squatting and they're leaning forward so much, and they're wobbling from side to side, and one leg's out this way and the other's out that way. And it's an injury waiting to happen. And they're all going to get hurt sooner or later, trust me. And I know the argument, a lot of them they'll always use like Ronnie Coleman or some other bodybuilders who are known for using very, very heavy weights and have posted videos or sold videos where DVDs, what have you, where they're using low reps. So they say, well, look at how big Ronnie got doing that. Okay. That is making a ridiculous conclusion, a connection. That's like saying, I just read about a man who lived to be 107 years old, and he smoked a pack of cigarettes every day, and he drank a quart of whiskey every day. He lived to 107. So does that mean the secret to living longer is to smoke and drink? If you think so, go ahead and try it and see how long you live. See if you make it to 107. You probably won't make it to 77 or 67 if you smoke a pack of cigarettes every day and drink a quart of whiskey every day. You'll probably get lung cancer. You'll probably get cirrhosis of the liver. This one guy out of millions and millions of people who had adverse effects managed not to have adverse effects. So people look to that and say, well, look at him. He did it. Ridiculous. That's like saying, most people in Indonesia are short. So the average male height is 5'2" or something, which I think it is, or Malaysia. If there's one guy that's 6'5", you can point to him and say, see, Malaysians are tall. No, they're not. That one Malaysian is tall. So one guy out of many, many guys who does this crazy heavy weights for low reps might manage to get bigger because maybe his genetics were so awesome. Maybe he was on some really great drugs that you're not on. Don't use these people, these exceptions to the rule, as a rule, because they're not. They're exceptions to the rule. Generally speaking, if you're trying to stimulate muscle growth, you need to do more reps. You need to be doing 8 to 10, 8 to 12 reps for the upper body, 10 to 15, 10 to 20 reps for the lower body. I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick because I'm trying to make these shorter. So those are really the things that bother me, is not putting your weights away and training like a power lifter, maxing out when you're supposedly trying to build muscle mass. You're just showing off. You're just feeding your ego, looking to get your ego stroked, and you're setting yourself up for, at the very least, no gains, at the worst, horrific injuries. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.